up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If it is your first time here, please subscribe so that you can get notifications whenever I post a new video. Now this series is called Encouragement with B, and clearly I'm B. The B stands for Brittany, but I thought I'd try out a new thing. So let's hop right into it. So today what I'm going to be talking about is something that I'm currently struggling with, and that is waiting. In society, we're constantly in a rush, and we're constantly being told that if we're not moving forward, we're being stagnant, or at least that's how it goes in my mind. If you're familiar with the Enneagram, little background about me, I'm an Enneagram type 3, which means I'm the achiever, the hard worker. I feel like accomplishments add to my self-worth, and without them, I'm just not worthy, Sorry, kind of dim the mood there. All right, so back on track. So I just wanted to give y'all some helpful insight that I believe God has been working in and through me on to help me in my waiting period. So what am I waiting on? I'm waiting on a lot of things. I'm waiting for my career to take off. I graduated college a year ago, and my dream is to perform either on Broadway or in a dance company. Check out some of my dance material on my page. And, I have been blessed to have been able to be in a company that was starting up called Sound Express, and to be able to be choreographing still, because I have done some projects. But in my mind, it's still not good enough. I'm still not where I feel like I'm meant to be. When I first went to college at Boston Conservatory, I'll never forget, I had the feeling of really being exactly where God would have me to be. And so now it's like I'm chasing that desire all over again, expecting to be exactly where I'm supposed to be, like right away. Also, this is the first time in my life where I've kind of felt like I didn't just go step by step by step, like how you go from kindergarten to elementary school, then middle school, and then high school. And, I went to all the performing arts schools that I wanted to. And then Boston Conservatory happened, literally was a miracle from God. Maybe I'll do a video telling you about that testimony. And then it was kind of like the next thing was a company contract. And when that didn't happen, it was like, what do I do now? Like, my plan has fallen apart. But to keep in mind, although what I envision my life to be may not be what God would have for me, and what He has for me could be better than what I could even imagine. So what do I do during this period of time when my heart isn't being fulfilled in the way that I've been seeking? Well, here are my tips and tricks. These are different resources that I have been using to help during this time period. 1 being my Bible, 2 being my journal, and then 3 being this book called Wait and See. It's actually a really good read, so I'll put the name of this book in the description box, and also a link to where you can find it, because I highly recommend it, although I'm not done it, but so far it's really good. And then also I learned from my mom to have like a notepad, like an index card with Bible verses on them, so that when you're feeling some type of way, you could just be like boom, 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 and then the Spirit can speak to you, and you don't have to be like, oh man, where is it in the Bible? Because it's like you already jotted it down. So even if you just remember a key word, or the Spirit just brings a key word to mind, you can go through easily and find it. Okay, so what are my tips for the waiting period? Well, 1, I would say that while you're waiting, to still be active in doing what the biggest command is, which is to love God and love others. If you're if you're waiting for marriage, that's another thing that I'm waiting for, and you feel like you have all this love to give, well, why not give it to the people around you? God has allowed us to have influence in the different spaces that we're in for a purpose. So whether that's by discipleship of a youth or young adult, or a child, or leading Sunday school, or helping out in your local nursing home, or for instance, since I'm in the arts, I started a program called Dancing for a Purpose that I ran in the summers, where I taught dance to kids who might not have access to it because dance is expensive. All those different things help feed that desire, and also that redirects it to Christ and to using your gifts and talents for him. And then you'll find that through serving, you're actually being fulfilled way more. And then before you know it, the wait's gonna be over. Or you'll discover that what you were waiting for wasn't even worth it, that there was something better. 2, pray without ceasing. And not only, like, I don't want to say selfish prayer, but selfish prayer. Don't just constantly pray like for this one desire of your heart to happen. Also pray that your desires would align with his, so his will can happen and that you can be content with whatever that is that he has for you. 3, stay constant in your devotional time with God, making sure that you are listening for his voice and not putting your voice in as a substitute for his voice, so that your way can become what God would have for you. Because let's face it, we're all guilty of that. And 3, I would say pray for faith. I have been praying for the spiritual gift of, like Paul had in the Bible, because I believe God gives us what we need in those times, you know, when we lack. And if I believe God gave me these gifts and these passions for a purpose, then I have to believe that he's going to also fulfill them in ways that I could never imagine. And in order to do that, I have to be able to have faith. And faith is given by the Spirit. So also making sure that you're praying for faith. I think that was 3. And lastly, I can't stress to you how big community is in the waiting process. Like, please surround yourself with others. Do not isolate yourself. You'll find that through other relationships, you'll realize that other people are in the same places as you, building godly friendships where you guys can pray together and really encourage one another, because, you know, we're in a spiritual battle, and on the battlefield, we can't fight with our hands. We have to fight with the Spirit and through prayer. So having prayer warriors in your back seat, front seat, we need them. Those are my tips and the different things I have been using during my waiting period. I will keep y'all posted on what ends up happening in the future, what else I'm up to, if that is something you would like. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. Also, comment things you want me to talk about in the encouragement with B. Tell me something that you're struggling with. I could be struggling with it too and not even realize it. And then we can talk about it. We can dig into it, and we can ask the Father to help us. Really quickly, before we go, I want to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray that you would just be with me and the person across the screen, Lord, as we continue to wait on you to fulfill the desires of our hearts that align with you, God. I pray that you would just do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can ever imagine, Lord. I pray that we would trust in you and trust in your perfect and divine timing, Lord, for such a time as this, God. And I pray that as we wait on you, Lord, that we would draw closer to you and grow in an intimate relationship with your Son, God. So we praise you and I thank you for this time, Lord. And all these things we pray in Jesus' holy and wise name. Amen. See you next time.